I'm Edress. I'm an instructor of engineering at DMAC, and the project that I did was a collaboration with Chandana that he just uh, went over the project. Uh, I teach two courses, engineering MATLAB and engineering C++. What I did was basically to analyze the data that I got from Chandana. We started the project in uh, fall 2019, and Chandana gave me data for pH and ppm of different water samples. All the samples were from different sources in Iowa. It were from we have the samples here, just a snap, just a part of all the data. It varied from filtered water to tap water, to pond water, creek water. We have lots of source of water samples. And Chandana just got the data for pH and ppm values. In my MATLAB and C++ courses, which I teach each of them, I teach C++ in fall and MATLAB in spring semester. We just analyze the experimental data. What do I mean by analyze? We want to see how to, I want to, because all my students will transfer to Iowa State, I would say most of them, as an engineer, they have to know how to analyze data. And in engineering or in every science lab, we don't rely on one single data. We have a bunch of data. They have to learn how to analyze those data. Sometimes you have a source, but you don't have the data for that source, how to handle those blank spots in the table. So the data that Chandana was supposed to give me was more trials, but because of the COVID, he couldn't perform more experiments. And I just had 3 trials. With these 3 trials, students learn how to take the average of 3 trials and then go with the average of those 3 trials. And then they have to perform the statistical analysis. What is the standard deviation, and how far is each data point deviates from the standard deviation, or how far is it from the mean of the data. The hardness of different water samples are measured by titration and electrochemical methods. These are the stuff that they learned in the chemistry lab. But in the programming course, they were asked to. So the program that they have is asking the user to type the source of water. So from, I don't know, I think we have 100 source of water. Just asks the user, what is the source of water? Let's say it's essential. It's, let's say, Urbandale toilet water. So they will learn what will be. Then the program is written in a way that they will give the output will be what is the acidity level of the water sample. From 0 to 7, we just categorize them from neutral to highly acidic, and that will be the way that they will analyze the data. So this is what they did for both classes, for C++ and MATLAB, for pH. Likewise, we have the data for ppm, and I have the data here. But for ppm, because I got only 1 column of data, they were not 3, so they had an easier time of analyzing them. The purpose of the project in my MATLAB and also in C++ course was to students will be, when they run experiments, they usually have a spreadsheet. In MATLAB, there is a way that the spreadsheet can be linked to MATLAB as a matrix, and then they will analyze the matrix instead of dealing with the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet will remain intact. They are not going to change anything. like you see here, we don't have data for these two sources, or we have some exception for great value distilled water. We see that for all of the data, you have used with a 0.1 molar EDTA, but for others you have 0.01. There are some exceptions for the data all the time. But we are not going to touch anything in the spreadsheet. We are going to do all the changes in the programming. How to import, load, and analyze the experimental data. We were hoping to develop a program that uses the concentration of calcium ion as an input and displays the hardness of water in a ppm as the output, but we were not able to do that. But maybe even although the project is ended, but I will keep continuing working on this project and working with Shandana. Hopefully we can write a paper based on that. So just an output of the program. Students will, the program will ask, these are the data points that we have in spreadsheet. It's imported into the software. Then empty data. Here we see that we have empty data for pH values. They will learn how to remove the empty data, and then how to do the statistical analysis and what will be the acidity of the water based on the pH value. For a C++, it's not going to be as easy as MATLAB. They have to just, although there is a way to connect a spreadsheet to C++, but because this is an introductory C++ course, they have to just type it one by one. But eventually they will be able to report the acidity of water and the acidity of water based on pH and the ppm, and analyzing the ppm values of different water samples. What were the conclusion? So in this project, students were supposed to learn how to collaborate with each other, which they never learned in college, how to write a scientific report, how to write a program that is efficient, and because there are multiple ways of writing a code, but they have to learn how to write it in an efficient way, because when they join the market, they will be working on a project as a group, and their code will be maybe, I would say most of the time, will be shared with their colleagues. But if they write it in a way that they can only, they themselves can only read that data, it's not going to be helpful. They have to learn it in a way that is easy for others to track. At the end of the project, they were asked to write a report, and they were asked to put their outputs, just the summary of their output in their reports. So a person that doesn't have any engineering or programming background should be able to follow the report and see what's going on. They are not supposed to write it in a way that only engineers can understand. Even a biology professor or even environmentalists can follow the project. So that's all I did. I wish I could do more, but because the nature of my project was highly dependent on the general chemistry's lab, the data, the input to my project was constrained. But I will keep working on this project even after the deadline. So, any question?
I'll just say I think it was a great example of interdepartmental collaboration, and I'm glad you were able to at least pull some of it off. And once again, COVID seemed to mess up a lot of people's projects this year. And glad to hear that you will hopefully be working on it again in the future too. Yeah, are there any questions?
Yeah, actually, so we are planning to collaborate in the future because we met only once or twice last year because of COVID, because we couldn't have any math classes on campus, math classes, because I was allowed to go to campus only once a week. And because of that, we couldn't share a lot of things and things. But I have tons of data now, so I can share with Edris, and then hopefully in the future we can
Good,
do a very good collaboration.
good to hear that. I didn't know that you have more
Yeah.
data now.
Yeah, I have more data from last online last
Very good.
classes. Yeah, thank you.